Get down, Bugger. Get down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our freak show. I'd like to give a very special introduction, of course, to Mike. As usual, thank you so much for joining us, Mike.
What up?
And another special guest joining us for Beyond the Horror is Dawn. Thank you so much,
on,
Dawn.
hold on, I got
Hello? I can't hear you.
that's my fault.
There you
My fault. There we go.
There you go. Guys, they represent late night snacks,
go.
and we will certainly put a link to them in the description once the video is processed. And I'm sure there will also be one in the chat as well. But they are joining me special for this wrap up of AHS Delegate in this very special
I'm not
Beyond the
kidding.
Horror live stream. And our pets, right at the last moment, all wanted to join
Stop.
us. Yeah. So, what we are going to do, guys, is that we are going to talk about episode by episode, kind of just give you a little synopsis, give our opinions, take some of your opinions, and then move on to the next episode. So this does
Sweet.
end up being a two-parter. John and Mike have already agreed that they're down for that. So, yeah. And I wish I could do it, a whole thing tonight, but has been leaving for Washington in the morning. So it would have to be, yeah, definitely a two-parter. So, okay. Episode 1. Now, you guys did go back and rewatch the season, right?
I'm most way
Yes.
through, so if this turns out to be a two-parter, that's good for me.
Okay.
I went back and watched it all again.
I'm on almost on 6, so
I have different thoughts now
I do too.
because I
Me
went
too.
back and watched it again.
Yeah, so let's get into that. Let's go into the synopsis very quickly of episode 1, which is Multiply Thy Pain. We got a lot of setup of the characters: Anna, Dex, Siobhan, Dr. Hill, Sonia Shawcross. Um, Anna and Siobhan are best friends. Anna and Dex are married. Siobhan and Anna met through an IVF support group, and Siobhan is Anna's publicist. Anna is an actress, and she wants an Oscar. We get a setup for the stalker, Alana. Anna hallucinating in the episode. We also meet Talia, her partner Theo, and all about the art stuff and how Sonia and Addie, which is Dex's ex-wife, passed away, look exactly alike. Anna gets her embryo implanted, and someone breaks into their apartment while Anna was there. Okay, that's a good synopsis of the episode, and my original rating was a 6. So, Dawn, let's start with
Yeah.
you. What was your rethought in episode 1 when you went back and watched it?
When I went back and watched it, I'm actually going to be pretty harsh because
Mhm.
I went basically everything
ahead.
changed for me because I basically found it extremely annoying to watch because you're just constantly listening to Anna scream. That's all I hear for the first episode. Is she's screaming
Mike?
and just bitching about everything, and because when I originally watched the series, I was not a fan of it at all to start off. And I went back again thinking maybe it would change my mind. But unfortunately, I don't think it has entirely changed my mind. But that's really all I'm going to leave with that one on that one. Let's see what Mike has to say.
Will you like the episode less than what you originally did, or did you like it more?
I would have to say I liked it a little bit more than I did the first time around. The first time around, I just thought I found it annoying. I just figured, why are we doing this? What's the whole point? Because we don't understand what's going on. Why is all the screaming happening? She's running around the apartment. We don't understand why.
Absolutely.
It's kind of all over the place.
Okay, so you liked it more, no problem. Mike, what about you? And
Um,
did you like it more or less after you watched it again?
I'm actually finding I'm liking the whole season less, but we'll see when it gets to the end because right now in the beginning, I actually think this is a great opening as far as tone. I mean, I thought it was very, very HS. I think the tone was great. I think the suspense was great. I think the whole, the music and the anticipation of everything. But when you know what happens, this episode is really useless, and it sets the pace of them just wasting a whole hell of a lot of time on trying to misdirect and trying to falsely accuse and trying to make everybody suspect to everything. And it's like they could have spent so much more of their capital just investing in maybe Dex and Anna's relationship, or maybe some of Dex's history with with his first wife. There's so many other things that they could have really developed with that time, instead of making everybody look suspicious and everything a big mystery. Because as we know, 3 episodes in is just basically about a stalker and not really about what we're dealing with the whole satanic shit and stuff. But the tone of it, if you just take it as an AHS opening, and how they set up the suspense and the drama of it, the tone was it was probably one of the better openings of anything of AHS. Just kind of useless at the end. So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed.
Okay. Before I give my opinion, guys, Blaze is saying that my mic is kind of weird and my voice
Yeah, it
sounds
sounds distant.
Yeah, you're a little bit distant.
I apologize. I'm using my earbuds this time instead of the headphones. If I need to switch after this, I can just grab those earphones. They're somewhere around here. It'll just take a second to grab them. I thought that I heavily disliked the episode after I saw it. Again, episode 1. I completely agree. It was pointless. It made it could have kind of come out kicking and screaming, but instead it came out muted. And the only thing that really stood out for me was the cinematography and some of the acting. But
well, nothing beats Siobhan's opening.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Right?
It's just classic.
Yeah.
Siobhan is my favorite character for the whole series.
Kim is great. We'll talk about Kim later.
Absolutely. Well, I completely agree that Kim was probably one of the only joyous things to actually watch at that time, because Emma was much a different character. It was nice seeing her as someone different. But am I wrong here in maybe thinking that I wanted Annabelle Dexter-Jones to be, who was the woman who played Addie and Sonia, to actually play the lead instead of Emma Roberts?
Yeah, I said that. When we did the episode.
Oh, did you?
I said that. Why are we focusing on Anna when it really is about this first wife? And doing her story, because she was so good. She was, and her story was so American Horror Story, so enamoring. It was neat. Whereas Anna was just annoying as far as let's all the way up till the end, till it unfolded. It was just her running around, being confused and screaming. And why they constantly made her delusional and miss time and all that stuff really was kind of pointless. It was like, what was the point of all that? It's like if they're going to torture her with the dolls, they're going to scare her, or they're going to hurt her, just do that. But this whole, I've lost a week and I don't know when the appointment is and blah blah blah. It just was misdirect for no reason. Constant misdirect for no reason.
And I just thought that Emma Roberts was being Emma Roberts.
Yeah. Stop. 100%. Yeah. It didn't really seem too much of a stretch for her at this point.
No, not at all. Nuh-uh. Okay, and the character of the first wife was so much more interesting.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Give me one second.
I like Addie a lot better.
You guys still talk real fast. I'm just going to grab those other headphones. I can hear you real fast. I'm just going to switch it out because I don't want the audio to be so weird.
Yeah.
Hang on one second.
Okay. Well, it's like I feel we almost could have done this show to be the whole history of the first wife and her mother and her sisters and all that stuff to take up a huge bulk of it, and then either before or after going to Anna's story as a couple short episodes just to kind of make the modern day and wrap it up. We didn't need this whole. Because I think the first 3 episodes are going to be about useless
I kind of thought they were throwaway because I was more interested in Adeline's story and her family dynamic than anything else.
I was more interested in freaking Kim Kardashian's story than anything.
No.
Episodes 1 and 2 together could have been 10 minutes, and episode 3 as it leads into Dex's mother and all that stuff. So we're gonna get there, but that stuff starts to lead in different directions until we get to the wrap up. It's just nonsense. I don't think it's going to be overall a good rewatch. I think this show's
Yeah.
gonna rewatch terribly, as some other seasons have, and then some other seasons have rewatched wonderfully. But this one, I don't know.
Yeah, some seasons are really fun to rewatch, and other seasons you just don't want to go back and watch
Yeah,
them again.
like I said, I only got halfway through my rewatch because I was just like, oh god, yeah, I can't see this anymore. So I need to do it in smaller doses versus sitting there having a big, marathon rewatch of it. And I loved the season when it wrapped up.
Okay.
I was all down for it. Now I'm just like, it was a good unravel, but once it unravels, it's kind of left on the floor.
Very true.
Are you with us?
I think after we're done with this, I'm probably not going to be going back and watching this one for a while because
Yeah, I mean, it's not one that I would just completely 100% just dismiss as
Okay.
going back to,
How about that?
like Double Feature or Apocalypse, but this one it's not going to be way up on the list at all anymore. I thought it was going to be much higher on the list. It's not.
yeah.
Stop. Anyone dog free? He's cute.
I know. I mean, I liked the second half of the season better than the first half. The first half was really slow.
Actually, I'm starting to feel that it's just about the finale for me. It's about just the unravel and how everything led up. Even though I thought the Oscars episode was brilliant, but we're not even there yet. We're still episode 1.
Oh, I know.
Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I couldn't get it to switch over.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I was getting
We
frustrated.
can hear you. It's fine.
Yeah, we can hear you. Fine.
I am getting new headphones tomorrow, so when we live stream next time, I'll be much more prepared. So
No, I can hear you fine. I can hear you better now.
Yeah.
Actually.
Trust.
Really?
We understand about all of it, so we've had to
Okay.
deal with a lot of stuff. So
What are you
Okay.
doing?
well, it
Stop.
looks like Wacky Tacky is right here agreeing with what you guys were saying. And Buffyville says, I thought they made her frightened and delusional because it was healthy for the baby, but they never explained it and it fell flat.
Yeah.
Well, now, see, that would make sense. But exactly, if they explained it, there were so many things. Had they had just put a little explanation for it, just sprinkle that information around,
Well, it's like it's all of this crazy AHS theme tone scary stuff, which seems really shoehorned in, or really kind of made. Well, we can do this and let's just make it scary because why we don't know it's just AHS. Like the whole. When she went for the whole I think it's the second episode with the whole ultrasound and what's her Ivy was up in her cooch just in a complete empty room. It's like what is this? It's not even like a normal hospital. It's like why is this just shoehorned in here like this? It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know, they just tried to make it look like American Horror Story without making it make sense to the modern day everyday storytelling.
because how close is it to the book? Because I didn't read the book.
It's not very close at all at a certain point. Maybe the first episode is a lot like the book and a little bit of the second episode. But after that, especially by like the third or fourth episode, they just go off on their own path and they say, fuck you to the book. Which I was so hopeful, because if they would have stuck with that formula, they would have had a much better ending, in my opinion. But it just made it nefarious. Like, see, in the book, there was a reason for Anna in the book really did have a miscarriage. And her friend, who was Olympia, who was representing as Siobhan, asked her, how much do you want that baby? And she's like, anything. I would give anything for it. So Olympia / Siobhan gives her own life so the baby can come back to life. And so there was a miscarriage, but the baby came back to life due to Olympia / Siobhan giving up her life for it. And it was when Anna gave the baby out, had it, that's when they told her, well, look, if you decide not to let Olympia / Siobhan's soul into the baby, that's fine. We can't promise you the baby will be okay, but she did give up your life for your baby, so we recommend that. And
that makes more sense as far as just a good mystical kind of horror type story than it's just a bunch of women together wanting to dominate the world because men suck. It seems like that's what the point of this was, and it I don't know. There's a lot of nonsense this season just to be nonsense, I think. And it starts to not make sense, a lot of it, now that I'm looking back on it. Because I was trying to watch the map, put it all together as it unraveled. And I think they kind of really flubbed or unravel because what I thought was going to be a fine line, adding it all together doesn't add up when you're watching it step by step. Because it's like they try to, at the end, they try to make a really neat package out of a really messy, mess. I think.
I think that the writers were just trying to make it too much like AHS. So
maybe, yeah. Well, let's move into.
That's what made it more confusing. They were trying to make it more scary, and they wanted us to get excited about it, and I mean we're 12 seasons in, and they're trying to figure out, well, okay, what are we going to do next? And
like I said, the opening was a fantastic tone for American Horror Story, but it didn't fit the story. It didn't fit where the plot was. So they actually created
where it was going. Yes.
Yeah.
So episode 2 is Rockabye, and that's where the Red Dot makes its first appearance. Anna gets her Gotham nomination, and Cora gives some exposition about Miss Preacher. Siobhan gives Anna the B12 vials. Anna and Dex find out they're pregnant, and at the Gotham Awards, Anna meets Babette, the super fan, Susan, and she wins the Gotham, but she pukes the black goo during her acceptance speech and murders right beforehand. And then Anna and Dex move to Talia's Hampton home. They meet Kamal, the bodyguard. After yoga, Anna is bleeding, and Kamal takes her to the hospital. And at the hospital is where, again, we see Ivy. She gives Anna the ultrasound, and Anna loses the baby immediately afterwards. And, of course, the staff tell Anna that there wasn't a nurse named Ivy at the hospital. I thought this one was better than the first one. It got, a little bit higher rank from me, especially since we finally got to see Kamal and all that stuff. But this episode, the super fan was just unnecessary. And the black goo during her acceptance speech,
this whole thing, it felt so forced. Everything in here felt so
her name.
shoehorned in there just
Susan.
to make it gross, to make it scary. It's like, this is where I was talking about before, where all this delusional stuff comes in. It was what is the point, and how does this fit into anything? Was constantly make her delusional and vomit on the stage, and kill a fan in the bathroom. It's like, just to make her crazy for what? Is I was to be American Horror Story. It was to be gross. It was to be scary. And then and this is where I started feeling that they really were misdirecting just to misdirect, because when Kamal comes in there, every single time he was on the screen, he was sinister, he was scary, he was, in on it. And we know he ain't got nothing to do with it. So why focus so much on him about being so scary? There's nothing he did that led to that misdirect. It was just like, let's make every single character in here a mystery, and you guys got it all figured out. Well, we can't figure it out if you're misdirecting us improperly, the whole way. So that's
like he was a throwaway character.
Yeah,
he was a complete throwaway character.
Yeah. And it was like,
Don, I wanted to let you know, by the way, that one of my commenters actually notified me that the superfan's name was Susan. So I forgot what their name
that was bothering me for the whole thing. I'm like, what is her name? I can't figure out her name. I couldn't remember what her name was.
Well, who's this bitch?
One thing that really bothered me about this season was that the show was trying to show us how Anna wanted an Oscar and a baby. Okay. So why didn't Siobhan help Anna like the way she helped Mia Farrow in episode 8? Siobhan was much nicer back then. She stopped the visions, but with Anna, she made shit 1,000 times worse. I mean, Anna won her Oscar, but she couldn't even get her fucking acceptance speech. I just didn't get the vibe that Anna wanted that Oscar. In fact, that like she seemed to be able to live without it, and why she wanted a baby so much. It just really seemed like the show was trying to make us feel a vibe that wasn't present, and we just couldn't get. I was about to say, Mike, what am I doing? I'll sit.
No, it's not. It's not you. Bungus giving problems.
And if Siobhan was supposed to help Anna win an Oscar, giving her those hallucinations, making her vomit black goo, none of that stuff helped her get closer to an Oscar.
Well, and
if anything, it just made it worse.
It doesn't even fit the same Siobhan that, like you said, that was doing that nonsense Mia Farrow stuff. That seems like two totally different characters with two totally different intentions. It's like, so we're supposed to lead into that Mia Farrow stuff going, oh, it is Siobhan because she did this to Anna. No, it's two totally different
It's
things.
totally different.
Right. And it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. It seems now conflicting now that I've gone back and watched the season. everything is so much of a contradictory. And as a matter of
Yes.
fact, I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys were here when I was doing the weekly Wednesday live stream, but I wrote down how many contradictories there were that it ended up just being a few sentences. But when I was done with all 9 episodes, it ended up being 2 pages.
Yeah. It's like I went in there to watch it all pieced together in this beautiful fine line, and all it did was confuse me more. All it did was, it continues to not make sense, where I was second guessing everything that I was thinking about, about the finale. And that's a shame,
And at the end, it just makes you angry because you're just like, well, what did you do this all for?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any
love
sense.
the finale.
And going back, I wanted it to be like a beautiful symphony. Even though you know what's going to happen, you know all the characters, you're going to start from the front and you're going to start watching. You're like, oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That's so cool how that was. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's what I was wanting.
There
That's
it
what I
is.
was expecting. You didn't get it.
Only one time I got that, and that was with Dex's dad when he told Anna that she was as big as a house, and what is she carrying twins in there? And she had been carrying twins, and he knew that.
He's a great character.
So, Debbie, oh my gosh, guys, Debbie is here. Hail to the queen, Debbie, Ebby, Bebby, everybody. We are so glad that you're here, girl. We are talking episode 2 right now. Right now. So I guess we can go on ahead and move into episode 3 in just a second. But I think we've kind of come to understand how useless some of these scenes have turned out to be, and how they literally ended up going nowhere.
Anything with the mystery around Dex was useless. Anything with the mystery around the bodyguard was useless. Anything where they spent so much time on Preacher, when it's like it was constantly to make her the evil one, when the reveal of her was actually kind of nice. It was like, oh my gosh,
hi Debbie.
But there's nothing in Preacher's story that led us to believe that at the end. So it's like we couldn't have guessed that. We couldn't have gone there with her. It was like I don't like being played like that. We're constantly we're misdirected for no reason.
Exactly. I don't know whether to be happy it wasn't an Antichrist or to be pissed off that it wasn't an Antichrist, because everything else led him to be an Antichrist.
Thank God it was an Antichrist.
Yeah, I absolutely understand that.
I'm glad there's no connections, to tell you the truth. No more connections.
At least this one season. Let's move into episode 3, guys. When the bow breaks. And on the way home from the hospital, Anna walks home. Remember, she gets pissed off because Dex doesn't want to try again. And little does she know she's been sedated. But on her walk home, she encounters Miss Preacher. She runs away and she goes back to the house with Dex to find Dex and Kamal. And she takes them back to the section where she saw Miss Preacher, and no one's there except that pesky white owl, who we now know was one of Siobhan's spies.
Yeah.
Which, hello, too little, too late. Miss Preacher's already gone. Anna wasn't there. Why the fuck was the owl there? I mean, it could just, I guess it was just hanging around, like getting high or something like that. I don't know. It's just that white owl was just there for no fucking reason. But
yeah, basically.
We meet Nicolette, Talia's house manager, and then on the beach with Siobhan, Anna finds a summer day doll with nails in its stomach. She goes through the small door of the basement where Anna is placed in the gyno chair and put out. And then later afterwards, she wakes up in the basement and she feels the baby move. But she tells Dex and he refuses to believe her. But Anna goes to the store to purchase a baby heart monitor to see for herself. And the clerk feels Anna's tummy and she's like, yep, you got a baby in there. Congratulations. And Anna Stalker, which we now know as Cora, answers Anna via her online Google Calendar, and Cora tells her that they're doing something to her baby. And then, of course, Anna is enticed by the smell of the dead raccoon. Okay. Episode 3. Why the fuck did Talia get so upset when she saw Sonia that day? Why did she give her fucking eye daggers and stuff like that when yet she was really one of her besties?
More misdirect.
More just, yeah.
It makes something else more evil than
And then, of course, the dolls, the fucking dolls, they did nothing this season. They served no purpose.
Well, at the end, they showed what they were using them for, why they're all there. But at the same time, there was no importance to it. It was not that necessary.
The only thing that took effect was the one where Anna was paralyzed. And that's the one that Siobhan had did to her with the cut in the back. So the final doll that Anna found was the one that actually became effective.
So it's like all the dolls were put there to give that final doll a payoff. Where it's like, why did you waste all that screen time showing us the dolls? Because all you did is misdirect again, confuse us again. You know?
And then, of course, I'm sorry, Don, go ahead.
The biggest misdirect for me was the raccoon. I didn't get it.
It was to be gross.
The whole raccoon thing, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, to be gross.
Why is this even here?
To be gross.
I mean, I could understand why Harry went in Death Valley or not Death, Red Tide to go get all that meat. He was craving, obviously raw meat and stuff like that.
What's Red Tide?
In Death Valley. Yeah, right.
Doesn't exist.
I don't know you.
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
I don't know you, Death Valley. You can't sit with us. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't sit at the good table, no.
But at least there was a purpose behind it. And then with her eating the dead raccoon, it was just at the end of the season finale that Siobhan was like, oh, he liked that little dead raccoon.
Yeah.
We don't need an explanation for everything, but we do want some backstory, some context regarding some things. And when there's just so much misdirect,
like you pretended to pay it off in the finale, but everything's like, they did the little flashbacks and this connects to this, all the way down. And you're like, oh, that's brilliant. It got me fooled. I was like, oh my God, that's great. I really enjoyed that. And then you go back and you watch it and you realize it wasn't there. It wasn't as seamless as you thought. Going in there,
didn't get the answer. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. So, episode 3 was okay, I thought. And I remember I did my review compilation. And when I put that out, I just remember seeing myself like, I'm so frustrated. Let's move this story along.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the first 3 episodes could have been 10 minutes. Yes. You literally could have told this story in a really concise way in a very, very brief time and get the exact same information by the time you got to the finale. And that's a waste of time then that they spent with the season. They wasted their collateral that they had in for each episode. And then the episodes were short on top of that. And they still wasted all this time. I mean, what substance really is left of this season,
Yeah. Absolutely. Before we move into episode 4, let's just take a couple of comments. The Alpha says, I wish we had a story about Adeline instead, where she didn't die originally and lived long enough to fight the Cabal. See, that's more interesting.
Way more interesting. Her story is so interesting.
Totally.
Maybe Hestia, maybe because she praised Hestia maybe came and saved her after, she died, like the way Siobhan was doing. Like she would come and bring people back to life after they had died. That would have been kick-ass. Thank you, the Alpha. See, that's even better. Jiggle Jello says the importance of Anna was never solidly answered. Ever.
Your answer, period.
I know, right? Why her? And if the Coven's been watching her for that long, why didn't she recognize any of them until she was 35?
Right. Well, I think they tried to play it off where Anna's genes were going to be the final piece of the puzzle for the Dex gene and the Savon gene and everybody's gene. I don't know. It's weird that they tried to make this ultimate being at the end and never really justified why that was the ultimate being, why that was the being that was going to be, the savior of the world or the savior of the,
why was Anna the perfect host? I don't get that part. It's like
exactly. They never answered any of that. And then why were they looking at her even as infancy?
Addie had so much more prominence in the whole thing, and she could have been it.
Yeah, and Sonya even mentioned to Addie that they need her and that she's very powerful. So it would have made sense that they would have wanted Addie more as their vessel rather than Anna.
Yeah, those two sisters and Ivy were like the best of the season. Yeah. It was like I was drawn in. I was like, okay, now when was that episode 6 or something? When you go into that, so here we go. And that's when it was evil and that's when it was good. But that's when it made sense. And then we get back to Xana
I think like 6 and 7. Yeah, that was when we started getting all the backstory on that.
Yeah, and that was interesting.
Those were the only interesting ones. Blaze says, I feel like Adeline should have been the main character. Thank you, Blaze. We understand that too. And we feel your vibe. Jared said this season could have been epic had we followed the first wife, Adeline, the whole time, and Emma Roberts could have played a different character. Okay, it seems like the comment section is absolutely in agreement with that. Wacky Tacky says hashtag Sarah Paulson next season, or I'm shaving off my eyebrows.
You better get to shaving.
Yeah, right.
She's not coming back.
Lucas, thank you so much for being here. Blaze says this season was too slow for me. I feel like the whole season could have been 5 episodes. Buffyville says the Tudors flashback had the only real AHS feels.
Stop.
Blaze, right? Blaze says the last 2, maybe 3 episodes felt like AHS and that MJ needed more screen time. Jared said that MJ was robbed of well-deserved screen time. I absolutely agree with that.
Well, yeah, I haven't been on to talk about that Tudors. We're
not
going to start.
Well, we will. Wacky Tacky says this season's theme too just disjointed. I still don't know how this season connects with AHS lore. The only thing possibly Michael Langdon.
It doesn't.
Absolutely.
It doesn't. Leave it alone.
Adam, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. The Alpha says, I think the only connection we received were those damn Supreme cookies. Right? Jared says the owl kind of gave me Fourth Kind kind of vibes. If you've seen that movie or not. I have, guys. It's a Mila Jovovich movie. Have you guys seen it with the alien abduction?
No,
I don't even know.
Dr. Abby Miller, I think is her name. Or maybe I'm thinking Abby Miller from the Dance Academy.
Abby Miller, that's Dance Moms.
Oh, that's Dance Moms. Well, her name is Abby.
the only Mila Jovovich movie I've seen is The Fifth Element. So.
Oh,
this is good.
Good movie.
Now I gotta watch this
movie. She did a movie called The Fourth Kind, where like or it's UAPs now, I guess, but UFOs, they would come in certain stages or like certain kinds or whatever. Fourth kind, second kind, third kind, fourth kind, and fourth kind was full alien abduction. So she played a psychotherapist that would hypnotize these people so they could regress and remember their memories of being abducted. So yes, I do agree that owl gave me Fourth Kind vibes. And if anybody hasn't seen it, check it out. It's really,
sounds interesting.
It's decent. Yeah. Debbie says at the Alpha, and names, we got a bunch of people and pets named after previous AHS characters. Yes. The girlfriend Madison, the dog Oz, Adeline herself, who was Addie from season 1. And yeah, they definitely seem to recycle a lot this season.
And do a lot of that with names.
Erica brings up a good question. Where did Dex's dad go?
Yeah, he showed up there. What?
He just showed up. I know.
We saw him screwing somebody at
all
the end.
Of a sudden, boom.
Who's having sex with at the end? It was with... Having sex with somebody's. I
do like Dex's father though. I'm
sorry. He was a great nauseating character. He was good.
Yeah, that I hated him so badly that's why I liked him.
I wish they wouldn't have had him involved though. I mean, he was a great just male yuck. And if he was just a normal nasty man, I think that would prove their point a whole lot more than him being deeply involved in all this.
Right. Yeah, like I said, he just that really seemed like lazy writing to me, that he just disappeared with all of the other women. I get that Siobhan, maybe that chant took out Siobhan, but it didn't take out everybody else. So I mean, it did feel like lazy writing at the end. And I agree with Blaze. I want a backstory as well on the Ashleys. So yeah, that's
why.
Because I wanted to know how they came. Like Superfan Susan, how the fuck did they recruit her?
Yeah, I mean,
what's her story?
I found that all those little side stories just annoying. Just like it's over the top just to be over the top, and it's like, and it's all those little side story things. It wasn't like our main characters where they could have focused on that. It's like, let's make this crazy woman in the bathroom, and then get bumping her head and die.
It was like they were just trying to find something to do with. They were just trying to find something to do with
those elements.
Billy Lord and
Billy Lord and
they shouldn't have even appeared in the
they were
season.
just
It was
trying
a
to
waste of their talent. It was an insult
Leslie.
to their talent. Leslie Grossman, it was a waste of their talents. Like, make these silly characters. It was almost how I feel with Apocalypse, bite my tongue, with Evan and what's his face doing those freaking frat dudes. It's like, don't put in your A-listers in these stupid roles. Just tell them take a bench. Wait till next season. You know, I mean, like Zach Quinto's cameo in this was great.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with doing something like that? A little tiny cameo. They're making these crazy little silly characters. It's like that annoys me of HS when they do that mess.
I love Blaze's comment right here. Dex's dad is like, surprise, bitch, and just dipped.
I like that little surprise at the end, though. He's just so gross. He is fun.
Okay.
He's a great character.
And like I said, for those characters that I hate and that really dig under my skin, that's good writing. That's good writing, in my opinion. So I absolutely
sinister,
like
gross
that.
characters, sure. Not silly freaking frat characters.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about episode 4, and then I think what we should do is kind of like just give overall opinions, take some more comments, and then we can wrap it up so we can do a second one, and then we can go more about bitching about this, because I'm not gonna lie, I've got a lot more to bitch about, like pages to bitch.
I'll save this to the end, but yeah.
No, you don't have to say what.
No, I was just saying, this show's actually been fun to bitch about.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, bitching about double feature and
it's
bitching
been a
about
long time.
It's not fun for me. You know, if the seasons like Apocalypse On, besides 84, well, I mean, not 84, New York City, were not fun for me to bitch about, because it just annoyed me that that show we love so much has just turned to such crap. But this one is not, it's crap in a kind of fun way. You know, I don't know. There's something you're doing about this. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to bitch about. You know, so it's at least it's different for me. If I don't know. I'm not hating it, but I'm still not a great season.
You're not hating it, but you're not liking it either.
Yeah.
All right. So the synopsis really quickly for episode 4, which was titled Vanishing Twin, is that the episode flashes back to 1955. Oh my God. 1555, where Queen Mary gives birth to a monster. The Ashleys come and take it. This episode was basically very filler. Nothing really much happened except Anna and Dax go to Dr. Hill's office and they confirm that Anna is still pregnant. And Anna meets the Ashleys, who we never get a backstory for. I had to say it again. Sorry. Virginia just moves her ass right into Dex's and his apartment and learns about the miscarriage after she tells Dex that she's suing his dad. Siobhan is shagging Hamish, who actually didn't write the movie The Auteur. And we get Anna's cringy PR video. Yeah, we get Anna's cringy PR video, the pickles in the ice cream in the fridge, and Anna eating the dead raccoon and being nominated for an Oscar. This episode was so filler and really didn't have much.
All it has, my head explodes. This, the tutor stuff really, really got to me, really bad. I mean, you guys know I've bitched about this many times with Ryan. I hate when they do this. I hate when they take real life historical moments, especially when we're talking about Bloody Mary. She was one of the most vicious human beings on the planet. This woman just massacred people in the name of religion through this whole Protestant Catholic war. It was absolutely through her angst of her father and the whole Anne Boleyn and Catherine of Aragon stuff, to make light of this in this little satanic witchy coven kind of thing that they were trying to do with Bloody Mary's story and Elizabeth coming in, and I was screaming at the TV at this point. I wish they would stop doing this mess, because there's no reason to take historical people who have done absolute monstrous things in their real life, like with the Richard Ramirez things and the things that these real life people have done, these real victims of these people, and make it this big fantasy just to shoehorn into your series. You can make up fake people. The entire rest of your show is fake. There's no reason to do this with these monstrous historical people. You know, like. Right. It bothers me so much. And as soon as because I studied the tutors for years, and as soon as they popped on and they said this was Mary, I about threw my phone through the TV. I mean, I was just so tired of seeing this in American Horror Story, because there's no reason for it. There's no reason to use historical people in this whatsoever. Like when Mia Farrow came up at the end, no reason. Stop doing it. You know, because it's really disrespectful to all of the victims of these people who have done such monstrous things in the past. It's really happened. It's the real people. You know, it's like, I hate it.
Well, you know, damn it, Mike, you said something, and then I'm sorry, what you said, it just flew out of my head. I hate it when it does that. It was something about Siobhan. It'll come back to me at one point.
No.
But
I
I want to leave it at Jared right here because I did hear something as well from my channel members that online there are scenes of the show and they're like deleted scenes, but Hulu cut them because they wanted more advertising time. That's just a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I haven't had a chance to check it out because if it's there, I'm definitely going to make a video about
In the
it so that
finale?
we can watch it.
The
I
finale
believe
is only
so.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
I
but,
believe in the finale and other episodes. I could be wrong,
yeah,
but
Hulu
I'm
gives
pretty
you the
sure.
option. They give you the option to pay for it or to pay for the ad-free
Yeah, I just pay for
or,
ad-free.
or to not pay for the ad-free. They give you the option to do either or.
However, their ad revenue is increasing though. So I see something that makes, I can see Disney doing something like that. The whole Hulu setup now is a mess because of this combination of Disney and Hulu. But I find it weird because in half-hour episodes they have plenty of time for ad revenue. If they wanted to make an hour episode on traditional FX and put a half-hour of freaking ads, so that I have to look it up. I hadn't heard that. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it had something to do with the ads, but I just heard from a couple of viewers that there is a few deleted scenes that were taken out of the season because Hulu, I think, wanted them taken out. I just haven't had a chance to research that.
Would they do it for ads, or would they do it for because Disney didn't like the content?
Well, they probably did it for money. I mean, come on, it's money, Mike. It's money.
Well, there could be money. It also could be Disney too.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And
I'm surprised FX is still around. I really am with the whole Disney takeover. I'm surprised that anything remnant of FX is still around.
It's still around.
Such a small entity playing in this in a company that's trying to cut corners in every single way. I'm so shocked that they haven't dropped it.
So this is what I remembered what I was gonna say. Why was Siobhan banging Hamish? She only shagged the most depraved people, she said. And Hamish obviously wasn't like that. And I know she needed some kind of buffoon to be her face of the script that she had written, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
However, why? Why did she write the script? Why was all of that there? Why was she supposed to be the one to write Rosemary's Baby? Why? And then I get that it's the auteur, but the auteur means various different things. It doesn't necessarily mean in film.
I think that's it was their excuse to put Siobhan in charge of everything, to show at the end, by the time the end got around, that you would believe that she had been orchestrating all of this stuff because you had seen her orchestrate so much more. But even that was unnecessary because the way she orchestrated the whole pregnancy kind of thing is in and of itself of who she was being in this real world kind of thing. She was just a typical aged kind of bitch, and saying she pulled it off well. We didn't need to see everything. And also, I think it was more of that whole grossness of man, that make men, that much more of
subservient.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And then their message was so convoluted, and I get it, but for goodness sakes, they did it better in Cult with I want to say Spit, but I know that's not what the cult.
the little side cult, the women's cult.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know Spit or something. But or it's
Scum.
Scum. That's it.
Scum.
Scum. Thank you.
It was Scum.
Thank you, Dot. Thank you.
Scum.
You're welcome.
Yes, Scum.
Which was dumb.
I mean, that was so much better.
Zodiac, remember Scum? Go figure.
That was even Scum was so much more together than this, and had a better message.
Was
and
it?
Then the whole thing
or
about
were we
breeding,
still buying it then?
We were still buying it then. But then the whole thing about making a new race of superhumans. So, okay, guys, I want to just say really quickly again, we had the superhumans. But when I was looking at episode 1 of what Anna was scrolling through, Miss Preacher's thing, she had a thing about Queen Mary. She had Queen Mary in there about Celtic rituals with Queen Mary. And then she had one about Hollywood and cabal, a big cabal. and then
A witch's
something about
coven running
fertility.
LA.
Yeah, something like that. And then there was one more, and I just don't remember off the top of my head. But that was the season. They told us the season and those 3 articles, and we didn't listen.
And we weren't paying attention.
I had even asked later in the season, had they even mentioned the word witches? I didn't even see it. I didn't.
Had they even mentioned witches? Did they mention coven? Did they mention?
Well, Dawn didn't even see it the second time because I was talking to her last night. I said they did mention witches. I saw it. It was in the city. She said, "Where?" No, we had to go back again to look at the newspaper things because it was such a flash. But I still did. I never looked at it as witches. I looked at it more as a satanic thing than anything.
Yeah,
than witches.
Satan's bitches, so
Yeah, exactly.
to speak,
I think people's hunger for coven. Why I don't know is so thirsty that.
Don't get me wrong, I love coven, but there has to be a limit to how far you.
Anybody see how Apocalypse turned out? Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Coven was great. Not anymore.
Coven was great.
How about them American? How about them stories? You know, see anybody want to visit Murder House again?
Wasn't bad. I went back and rewatched it for my watching AHS, so I can rate and note every single episode because I'm doing a number 1 through like 200 of breaking all the episodes of AHS. So I've got them all in a spreadsheet, so that way the computer will do the work for me. But I got to put all that information in there. So I've rewatched Apocalypse, and it's really not as bad as I
first 4 episodes maybe
thought.
Oh yeah, first 4 episodes are great. I loved the way they were going, and then the wheels fell off.
Apocalypse is what turned my entire course against AHS.
I think the wheels came on at like midway through the season.
Episode 7 of Apocalypse, I came out of that episode going, I actually hated that. I mean, I really hated that. And then don't get me started on double feature. That must have offended me.
Mike, I have to agree. I was the same way. I thought I might as well just start with Apocalypse. It's the shittiest season so far. I might as well just start at the bottom and work my way up.
Yeah, but then you get yourself featured and realize Apocalypse is not so bad.
And then I realized Apocalypse really wasn't so bad. And
yeah, but now we have, as far as shitty seasons go, we have 2 to choose from, in my opinion. We have Apocalypse, and we have double feature.
Apocalypse, double feature, 84.
So 84 is.
Yeah, let's make Richard Ramirez a superhero. That's great.
Yeah, we know how you feel about that.
Yeah.
We do. And Mike, I'll go back and rewatch that one soon too.
Kill the lead singer Kajagoogoo when the dude is still alive. Why did it have to be Kajagoogoo? It's so stupid.
This is a good time. It's about to be summer. It's basically summertime. So I guess this is a good time to go back and watch 1984. So.
Yeah, I'm out.
You realize we could go on for an hour about all of this easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I want to do another one. Because we haven't even gotten through all the episodes. We started 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So yeah,
it's actually a decent episode. I think I still gotta rewatch them.
I mean, I could go for an hour bitching about Dex and how annoying his character really is.
Yeah,
he really did end up being really. It would have been so much better for his character if he was involved. But the fact that he wasn't, you watch him throughout the episodes, he's pathetic. He's absolutely pathetic. It's like, what a waste.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that actor. He's so cute.
Matt Sersney, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's my baby daddy. Y'all leave him alone.
No, okay. Not a problem. Well, like I said, just rewatching it, I know
it's just,
rewatching it. He's so cringeworthy. You're just like,
but again,
just go away.
Really, besides Hamish, all the men in this season ended up being kind of just cringeworthy, and I think that was the subtle point of the end, saying they want to take over the world of men domination and all that. They could have just done it so much classier, it could have been cleaner.
Oh, Debbie has got our back. Debbie went and checked. So Debbie said that Anna was scrolling through Preacher's posts. Number 1 of Queen Mary, then of Celtic rituals. Okay, so that matched because of Ivy. Ivy was from Ireland, and you know how that's all with actually with Celtic. So, and then new breed of superhumans. That's what they were ultimately going for, was breeding a new thing of superhuman. And then a secret cabal of witches runs Tinseltown. True. All of it. Boom. There was our season right there.
Yep. It was. Yeah. And in that order, kind of in that order.
Thank you, Debbie. Yeah. You're so
That's
sweet, Debbie.
Thank you so much.
Well, that
I
was
know,
the
right?
reveal. That was the reveal of the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Because Queen Mary was really the start of the explanation. And
exactly.
Went from there, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. So you guys want to come back and shit on these episodes again?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a special channel member Patreon. There's a special channel member Patreon live stream tomorrow night, Saturday night, guys. My husband's going to be in DC, so me and my daughter, we're going to be live streaming. So channel members, Patreons, you guys come and join us 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we'll probably do another one on Monday. And then what do you guys think? What sounds better to shit on more of AHS Delegate? Any fun, lighthearted, yet shady kind of a way?
Oh, I'm free whenever. You know, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty much open, so whatever works for you. Just
what about Tuesday? You guys want to do Tuesday?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll set the links, and I swear I will send you the links this time for the guest membership.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, my poor kids, one of them had a sore throat and had an ear pain. So I took them to the doctor, ear infection, strep throat. So that just started off a whole just everything of all of my kids getting strep throat and ear infections. So they've all gotten it and all gotten over it.
Bite your tongue, Blaze. Love you, but bite your tongue.
Well, I have to say, Red Tide really wasn't that bad. If
they
hadn't done us so dirty.
Here's we can talk Red Tide
justice
all day.
For Doris, justice for Siobhan.
Here's where I draw the line on Red Tide. You had some of the best performances of these actors' careers.
Lily Ray.
To be shit on the way they shit on it at the end. If I was Lily Rabb, I would have been pissed that they made such a mockery of that mess. You know, it's like, don't create such great characters for these people to really, dive into and really just take the life out of these characters and then just throw it away and just shit on it. That ending was so offensive to me. It was just like, it was offensive as a viewer, as a fan. It was masterclass, and they shit on it the way they did, and I think Ryan shit on it on purpose because I think it was the whole gotcha thing of it. It was like, you guys thought you had it figured out. We're gonna throw it all away because gotcha. I hate to be insulted about watching TV, and that's why I was so mad at it. And I felt bad for Lily in a way. I was like, she just gave a phenomenal performance, and then you just kicked her to the curb, and it was it was just yuck to me. The whole
like
feeling of it was yuck.
Teeth.
Especially to really the little girl that played their daughter. I mean,
who the fuck is Alma?
But she was outstanding, a little actress.
For all the way up until that insulting finale, it was great, and then that's why it made it so much worse that it was so just insulting like that. And I don't know. I prefer to think that double feature doesn't exist in my catalog of it's just because double feature actually makes me mad thinking about it, and I get so worked up thinking about it because it was so insulting.
Red Tide exists for me, but not Death Valley.
Death Valley
Death Valley was just a repeat of Red Tide. It was like, let's
Death Valley
and then kick you at the end. It was waste. It was but the talent wasn't as good in Death Valley, and that's why they were so different. Was that the talent was so phenomenal in Red Tide, and then they kicked you in the teeth, and then the talent was and then they kicked you in the teeth. The whole thing was a mess.
Well, I see here that Debbie enjoyed Red Tide. TB Karen is one of her top 10 favorite characters. I wish it was a whole season. Now, Debbie, I think had it been a whole season, it would have been much better. If we would have had more time to get into more of the backstory on the chemist and how she tested the pill. And
I don't think any of it would have mattered. If the intent was the same as to throw it all away at the end and say none of this meant anything because we're watching you guys. You guys are trying to figure it out, and we're just here to prove that nothing means nothing. Stop trying to figure it out. And that's what I think the showrunners were trying to tell us.
I have to say this though. Macaulay Culkin came out of retirement
to do that nonsense.
It was totally just thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Yeah,
but he did a fantastic job. I mean, I have to say that's probably why I prefer Red Tide to other ones, because it was just, I feel like the actors put so much work into it.
And that's why it bothers me so much that it was so wasted and so thrown away, because those actors gave everything. And then it just was, I mean, I'll never rewatch that Red Tide finale again. But to think about it was just like, it was such a waste, because they could have, even if they ended the episode before, it would have been better than what they gave us, because what they gave us was to insult us. I really do. I think that was the intent of it. I think it was I got you, and I don't like to be insulted like that. You know, when I watch TV, especially when I was so into it. I mean, I was hands down loving Red, and I still say, up to that moment, Red Tide was one of the best things they ever did. And then, you know.
Blaze, I don't know if I forgot to thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much again. And I really
Blaze got us all worked up for $1.99.
Heck yeah. Guys, don't forget, if you are enjoying the stream, please thumb it up, subscribe if you want more, click the notification bell if you want to be notified when we go live. I will set up those links tonight. But we are going to have to wrap up the live stream. Got to help my husband get ready for packing and everything. Thank you so much, Mike, for being here with us. Thank you so much, Dawn, for being here with us.
You go, Mrs. Brady.
I know, right? That's why I like to look at you guys. I feel like there needs to be Cookie down here, you know, and somebody else. And most importantly, thank you all, everybody here who joined us. There is going to be a part 2. I'm going to set that link for Tuesday. Is it okay if we do 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, guys?
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. If that changes, just let me know. We'll fix it and I'll alert everybody. But thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We love you all, and we want you to beware of sexy scaffage. Bye, everybody.
Guys.